This is a Roblox leaderboard that tracks your playtime. Not for every game, but specifically this one. It's a hangout game that I'm planning to create for Twitch viewers to flex their watch time for their favorite Twitch channels. It's a project I've been procrastinating for a while, because of a certain Python final that's been sitting in the background for the past couple weeks. However, I've made an ingenious idea to pursue the hangout game while also getting the final completed. So that's what I did. Alright. Before creating the leaderboard, I need to track playtime. I created a script on the server to handle this. When the player joins the game, the server will store a Unix timestamp and save it to the cloud when they leave. This was fairly straightforward, but I ran into a few problems. Run please. Of course. Real quickly, toString. The parentheses are getting a little bit out of control. Why would this be the case? Why is it nil? What part is nil? I mean, they're both nil, right? Total playtime and playtime is nil. But why is that the case? Oh, a number? One of them is a number, and then the other is nothing. But playtime is this weird OS time. Wait, they're both numbers though, right? After much struggling, I finally did it. Wow. It's done. 115. We have working data. Time for Python. The reason I am able to even do this project is because of the final project requirements. I can choose these topics for read-write functionality, so I chose the API. I also have to include 4 of these. I'm doing both API integration and creation, while also making a website with Flask. Lambdas are used to sort leaderboard entries. Whenever someone visits the website, this webpage is returned. However, things get interesting if /playtime is added after the domain. This is a list of the top players' playtime, and if I click username, then I can specify a player. So, I have spent 17 minutes and 44 seconds playing my Roblox game. However, the user "please give me a good grade" is an invalid user, which means they've never touched my game. If nothing is entered, then it defaults back to the leaderboard. This took 108 lines of Python. The next part of this video is only going to be interesting if you have any interest in development. One of the biggest obstacles was understanding how APIs and something called OpenCloud work. OpenCloud is an API offered by Roblox to access Roblox data stores. In order to use it, I have to create an API key for a specific place. A secret key is given in return, which should not be shown to anyone unless I want them to access my data store, which means not uploading it to GitHub, but we'll get to that later. I need to make sure it has the correct privileges, in this case, list entry keys and read entry. If I want to use it inside of Postman, then all I have to do is make sure that the key is added as a variable in the environment. In the header, put the key as the variable name and the value as the variable name surrounded by 2 curly braces. Now say I wanted to get my playtime data. I would make a GET request to this URL with 2 query parameters. One for the data store name and the other for the entry key. If everything is correct, then I should get this back in the body. If I wanted to do this with Flask, it's a little bit different. The API key is stored inside of an environment file, and the environment file is added to git ignore. This is because I don't want to upload it to GitHub for the world to see, utilize, and abuse. One of the first things I declare is a variable called xAPI-key, which holds the value of the private key. Now, I can access this variable anywhere in my code. The only places it is actually used though is inside of request headers. The entire leaderboard is managed by one method called watchtime with 2 URLs routed to it. The first one takes no parameters, and the second one takes a string for the username. I can separate which route is used by simply using an if statement to check if the username is not equal to none. If this isn't true, then an else statement will run the leaderboard code. If it is true, then a specific user should be displayed. I can get the user ID by sending a GET request to this URL and using the username parameter. Once I know a valid ID is passed in, then I can try to make the playtime request. Format time is a method that returns the days, hours, minutes, and seconds from a given number of seconds passed in. Return render template is what renders the HTML. Even in the accept block, I will still render template, but pass an error and this user has never joined. That's basically how everything works. If I want to display the leaderboard instead of one player, I have an extra method to get entries and a for loop to go through the entry keys. A lambda is used to sort the keys before render template is called, but you'll notice everything else is very similar syntax to getting a specific player, you'll find both the Roblox place and a GitHub link in the description. However, if you want to run the code, then you'll need to create an API key with OpenCloud. The universe ID is also hard-coded, so you'll have to change that too. At the start of the video, I mentioned creating a Twitch Hangout, but I haven't mentioned it since. That's because I'll make another video after this one showing that project. This video is actually getting submitted as a grade for my Python final, and when the next video is done, you should find it at the end card right here. Have a great day.